Now, we actually got a bit out of order from the printed program. So we have a couple of speakers. We have Pete and Tim from Sigma, Moray's Astronomy Society Club. What's the difference?
We're not one society.
Oh, is it? Right. Is it? Oh. And they're going to tell us something about their activities.
Thank you very much. Okay, well.
Would you like the lights down a bit, or are you happy?
I'm happy with the lights up, that's fine. Yeah, we'll up there.
Yeah.
All okay. You want it down? Okay, I'm fine.
It's just those are a bit like an interrogation.
As long as I've not got a light on me, I don't care. I've been asked to do a little bit about the club history. Myself, I've been chairman now for just over 3 years, coming up 3 years. I've been in the club since, when did I join? 2010, I think it was. Something like that. 10, 15 years I've been a member of the club. I've done certain roles within the committee. I've been on the committee longer than I can remember. I need a calculator, I think, to work that one out now. I've done events. I've done. I started off. I was asked to come on and do the Bothy committee, which was our observing site. I think that was a way to get me into the committee properly. Yeah, you're going to just nod with that. I know. I'm going to say that I was asked to do a bit about the history of the club as well, but I thought there's someone here who could do a lot better talk about the history of the club, and that is member number 1 over here. A little funny story. A few years back in committee, because obviously, as you know, in any club, people come, people go, and the membership numbers were getting very, very mixed up. You know, we had 101, and it was getting very strange. And a certain man to my right here said, "Oh, no, we can't go changing the numbers. I'm number 1. I want to keep that number." So we did change it, but it was a case for any new members got a new number. Okay, it made it a lot easier to come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hand over, as I say, let's say this is when we were formed in 2000, but I'm going to let Tim explain how we formed, and then I'll take over from that. Please welcome our president, one of our presidents. Bill Leslie can't be here. He does send his regards to everybody, but he can't be here today. I'm going to hand over to member number 1, Tim Schroder, our president, just to give you a little history of Sigma.
Thank you very much. And the display. Yeah, gosh. That chap second from the right was me. I wish I had that hair just now. First of all, can I say a welcome to everybody. It is absolutely superb that we have at last managed to have this meeting, and it's lovely to see you all here. I came up to Moray to take up a post at Elgin School, which some of you may know is the New King Old School, back in 1992. 1992, I'm still there, I can add, after 30 years. But 1992, in Moray, in Elgin, was a completely different place to what it is today. I struggled to find a copy of Astronomy Now, for example. It was very difficult to get hold of, as were lemon sherbets, if I remember right. My favourite sweets. We didn't have Marks and Spencer's or Tesco. Yeah, completely different place. And I'm really interested in astronomy since the age of 11. One of the first things I did when I came up here was to see where the local astronomy club was. And that was a real struggle. The obvious place to go back in those days, which was obviously the pre-Google days, was the Book of Astronomy, which had an address in it. I thought that's interesting. But I was just starting a new job, and it was a major job. So my first year or so was pretty full on. First, and I got a bit right next just to bring the IT up to scratch, which was my job. And so eventually I thought, no, I better go to one of these meetings. And I looked on the map. No Google Maps then. I looked at the map, for dress in astronomy, and I couldn't find. There was no such place in Elgin. That's a bit strange. I thought, well, I'm bound to bump into somebody. I was looking at Inverness. It's a site in Inverness, and find anything. Information was very difficult to come by in those days, and you can just have it on your phone. 1992 came and went. 1993 started to disappear, and I thought it was floating. And then I came across a name, Richard Pearce. Richard's name is familiar to anything. Certainly back in those days, there were a lot of Aurora pictures popping up, and this Richard Pearce. I thought, well, I must try and track him now, and maybe connect. And he'll know if there's anything going on in the world of astronomy in Moray. 1994 started off even more manic for me, so I advertised for a member of staff to assist me. And believe it or not, I got a couple of applications, one of which was from this Richard Pearce. I thought, that's an interesting thing. Anyway, I came for interview, and the first thing I said was, are you interested in astronomy by any chance? And of course it was Richard Pearce. And it turned out that him and a friend and one other person had been running an astronomy group, and that's 3 of them for a couple of years. And he was part of that. But because nobody else seemed to be interested, they merged what was then the Moray Astronomical Society with the Inverness Astronomical Society, which I've never heard of, and they formed a club called, which is now called the Highlands Astronomical Society. So that's a sister club in Inverness. And so I started going through with Richard and a couple of others every month to Inverness. Years later, we discovered, just by osmosis, I suppose, that there were lots of people in Moray who were interested in astronomy, and they were all having to come through to Inverness. So, at the end of 1999, I said to Richard, look, shouldn't we just start a club for those 3? So, it started in 2000, 4 other people, so Richard, myself, Si, Murray, Richard's second from the left, and Mike Rice Newlands, who's on the right, and another person who's not in that picture, but should be mentioned, very important, George James, who was interested in astronomy and helped us discuss how we were going to set up the club. The most important question we had was, what shall we call it? So we went away and then got back a week later, and we had our long list of names and so on. We decided that we would not call it a society, because we thought that sounded a bit formal and, dare I say, a bit snappy. And we wanted to be more friendly club, not a lot of, just a nice group of people to meet and fun. So that's how we came to call ourselves the Moray Astronomy Club, not astronomical, as it says on some of the documentation, Moray Astronomy Club. But we wanted something a bit simpler. And it was George James who came up with the name Sigma. And at meetings like this, we asked, I've already been asked several times,
Many times.
What does Sigma stand for? So I can tell you now, and it can be recorded for posterity, Sigma stands for Special Interest Group Moray Astronomers. And that was George James who named that, and that's why we call it Sigma. We had our first meeting on the 2nd of June in 2000, the year 2000, and we've been going strong ever since. And I'm really pleased to see you all here today. I couldn't imagine that we'd be having an event like this even 23 years later. So thank you very much indeed for coming, and I'll hand back to Pete.
Thank you very much, Tim. Yep, so say our meetings, we now have a membership of 60 still, which is really good. We're in a bit of a state of flux still from coming out of COVID lockdowns and that, where we went on to Zoom. As I say, it did save us. When we went to lockdown, we had no idea what we were going to do. We was like, well, I'm just going to have to stop. And it was Tim who came up with it, well, because he was doing it for the school, doing it online. We thought, well, we'll try it, and it did save the club. Our membership actually rose while we were on Zoom. We had people coming in from all over England and everything joining us, which we've got to try and think how we keep them involved, but there we go. Yeah, we meet on the first Friday every month. We still are. We've had guest speakers from from all over the place. St Andrews especially, we've used them quite a bit in the last few months. But as I say, I'll just move on a bit. Just shows you this year's programme, what we've had so far. So we always try and keep it nice and light and nice and airy. Chris, our events organiser, he is down in Lincoln, believe it or not. He's in the RAF. He was in Lossiemouth. He got moved to Lincoln, which made things a little bit awkward. But once again, when we went on to Zoom, it wasn't that awkward. All our committee meetings are now on Zoom. As I say, we have a varied field of speakers from all over the country and all over the world. We're going to now, actually. Our October meeting, for anyone who wants to come along, your first meeting is always free. If there's any new people who want to come along to Sigma, you try us before you buy us, as we say. Okay. Let's say, and we are still, as Tim said, a friendly group. That is the most important thing. We're friendly. We talk to each other. Any questions, just come along. We may not know the answer to the question, but we'll try and find out for you. Okay. As I say, we are getting speakers now from all over the world. As I say, we're not in sort of state of flux. We're still having some Zoom meetings, but we're getting back to physical meetings again. Okay. But we have actually made a decision to keep the winter meetings on Zoom. The only time we've had a council meetings is due to weather. Obviously, being up here is a little bit iffy come January, February, and March. So all those are going to be on Zoom. The other thing that really came out of going online is that all the northern clubs up here got together. We're now linked in with Aberdeen Astronomy Society. We share their meetings, we share theirs. Same with Haas, same with Caithness, and also Cairngorms. And we're now, I don't know how we missed out, Ken, but we missed out Dundee. I think there was so much going on at the time, emails probably missed, but we're now going to get linked in with Dundee as well. So it's a double-edged sword. It wasn't the best way to go, to have to do meetings, but good things have come out of it, let's say. So we're going all over the world. Our November meeting is Neil Reed, and he's joining us from the Space Telescope Science Institute in the USA. We would never imagine doing that 3 years ago, having someone join us from the USA. So that's good. I'd say Chris, who was our events manager, he's already got the 2023 program done. Every speaker is booked. It's absolutely amazing. This is just the beginning. This is the 3 we're going to be having on Zoom. All the information's on the website. Once again, Helen over there looks after the website. Absolutely perfect. I've got a fantastic committee. I really have. So if you ask for something done, it's done. You sometimes even before I've been asked to be done, they've noticed that these change in the printer. So this is where we meet. We used to meet down in Burnley. The problem there, once again, in the winter, the road can be a little bit awkward, so we thought, well, where can we move to? We now meet at Lambray Community Centre, which is just off the A96. If the A96 gets shut, no one's going anywhere. Okay. Let's say first Friday of the month, 7:30. If you want to come along, please do. You'll be more than welcome. We have members and public observing sessions. Now, Hazel said she felt a bit cold when she came to Scotland on Monday. And I said, do you want to try observing in January? This was one of the public observing sessions, I think probably about 10 years ago, I think now. That was at Lambray itself. We weren't there at the time, but we used Lambray. At the end of the night, my tripod was frozen to the ground. That's dedication for you. As I say, you would have noticed the banana telescope on the image that Tim was using. We've still got that. That's in my observatory at home still now, and we get it out. We share them around to members of the public. We do try and do an awful lot of outreach. It's all coming back again now, thankfully. As you see, the banana there being modelled there by our own Jean Stocks. She's going to kill me later, I know she is. So we've got a lot coming up at the minute. We've got 3 outreach coming up just within the next month, so it's all kicking off again. And I say we have, yeah, you're there again. We have telescopes that we can loan out to club members. We have the 6-inch Dobsonian Skywatcher, which is there at the moment, and we also have a Helios 3.5-inch refractor. So if you become a club member, you're more than welcome to borrow those. You could borrow the 10-inch Dob if you want to, known as the banana for its colour, but it's a little bit awkward to transport, that one. It stands about this tall, but if you wanted to borrow it, you're more than welcome. But it's still going strong 22 years later. I used it the other night and it's still giving fantastic images. So say that's one of the perks of being a member of the club. I'll finish off because I know we're getting toward the time. Say membership rates. We've kept them down for so long now. We might have to put them up again soon, but for a yearly rate, for an ordinary member, it's just £24. For a student, £12, and concessionary is 18. And it drops off throughout the year depending when you join. So if you join next month, October, you'll be paying £6. Okay. Once again, all the information here is on the website. So Sigma is still going strong, 22 years on. As I say, a lot of it is thankful to the committee, but a lot of it is thankful to the members as well. It makes the club what it is. So I want to thank you for the time, give me this time to explain what we're doing, and I'll hand back to David.
Thank you very much, Pete and Dave, for that. Well, it's time for more refreshments, but be back sharp at 4, because we've got 3 more exciting talks to fit in and the very exciting raffle.